Te Huataki was a Ngaitahu chief living at Whātaitai in Te Whanganui-a-Tara. He was the grandson of Tūhaitara, from whom Ngai Tūhaitara takes their name. His wives, Rakai Tukura and Mahaki Nui, were daughters of Teoteo, a noted chief and tohunga. One day while out fishing, he was surprised by a sudden change in the weather, and his waka was blown out into Raukawakawa. There was no chance they could make it back home against the wind, so he instructed his men to make the best of it, and they continued on to Te Waipounamu. He was welcomed by Rangitane living in Kahurangi, and they gave him a wife and a place to live, and so he stayed there. However, fate intervened again. One day, while out fishing, a sudden change in the wind blew them back across Raukawakawa to Te Whanganui-a-Tara. Now, Te Huataki wasn't all that confident that he'd get a good reception from the people here, as he was seen by some as a deserter. They landed at Whātaitai at dusk, waited until it was dark, and crept towards the whare of Teoteo, his father-in-law. Teoteo's wife, Tūromoa, saw them, and she was about to start a karanga of welcome when the old man stopped her, so others wouldn't be alerted to their arrival. Then they quickly presented their unexpected guests with a pōha of kaka to eat. Once they'd been fed, they were safely under the protection of Teoteo, and then Tūromoa went and told Te Rakai Tauheke that his brother-in-law Te Huataki had returned. Te Rakai Tauheke's wives, Rokopare and Tahupare, were also daughters of Teoteo, and he was not impressed with the way Te Huataki had left. Upon hearing that Te Huataki had been fed by Teoteo, Te Rakai Tauheke decided there was no point in going now, and he would wait and see him in the morning. In the morning, Marukai Tātea, Tutu Urutira, Manawa Iwaho, Taraki Whakaputa, Te Rakai Tauheke, and a host of chiefs assembled at the whare of Teoteo. The mood was a bit edgy, and it seemed that Te Huataki would have some explaining to do to win them over. Teoteo asked him who the mountain was they could see on the other side of Raukawakawa. Te Huataki explained it was Tapuwaio Uanuku, and that titi and weka could be gathered there. He started telling them about the amazing places and the kai he had seen in Te Waipounamu. He talked about kaka, tui, and the many types of duck. He spoke about tuna, inanga, and many types of ika. He told them that the kereru grew so fat that they literally fell out of the trees and could be collected easily. He also told them there was heaps of tikumu. The leaves of the tikumu were sought after for making kakahu and were used to make rain capes. His kōrero must have been convincing because the mood of the crowd changed from one of anger to a general feeling that perhaps this fella was onto something. Now, at this time, the idea that they should be looking for somewhere else to live was quite topical, due to Ngāti Kuri being under pressure from their powerful neighbours, Ngāti Kahungunu. Teoteo was impressed by Te Huataki's kōrero and asked the question, how can I possibly cross to that amazing place? Nā, he aramou, ko tōku tuara, replied Te Huataki. My backbone will be a path for you. Teoteo understood. Te Huataki had made a claim to the land, and because his wives were Teoteo's daughters, the old chief could as well. This connection between them had ensured Te Huataki's safety and offered Teoteo the opportunity that together they could plan a migration to Te Waipounamu.